It was a crisp February morning in Athens, Georgia. The kind of morning that felt peaceful, calm, and ordinary. 22-year-old Lacken Hope Riley, a bright nursing student at Augusta University, laced up her running shoes and stepped out for a jog near the University of Georgia campus. She'd run that same route many times before, around the lake, through the wooded trails. It was her time to clear her mind, think, and breathe. She texted her mom that morning a simple message, "Good morning, about to go for a run." It would be the last message she ever sent. At 9:03 a.m., Lacken called her mom. They spoke briefly, just a normal chat. Minutes later, her smartwatch showed her pace slowing down, then stopping. At 9:11 a.m., her phone attempted a 911 call, one that never connected, and by 9:28 a.m., her heart had stopped beating. When she didn't return home, her roommate grew worried. She reported Lacken missing to campus police around noon. Search teams began combing the area near Oconee Forest Park, a quiet stretch of trail behind Lake Herrick. Hours later, officers found her body. She had been brutally attacked, beaten, asphyxiated, and left among the trees. The investigation moved fast. Within 24 hours, authorities identified a suspect, Jose Antonio Ibarra, a 26-year-old man from Venezuela who had entered the United States illegally in 2022. He lived less than a mile from where Lacken was killed. Police tracked him through surveillance cameras and physical evidence. DNA found under Lacken's fingernails matched Ibarra's profile. Her phone carried his fingerprints. Scratch marks covered his face and arms, clear signs of a struggle. For investigators, it was obvious. Lacken had fought back. Ibarra was charged with 10 counts, including malice murder, felony murder, kidnapping, aggravated assault with intent to rape, false imprisonment, and concealing a death. During questioning, he showed little emotion. Prosecutors later described the attack as a random act of violence committed during Lacken's morning run. In November 2024, Ibarra stood trial in Clark County. He waived his right to a jury. His fate would rest in the hands of a single judge. Over several days, the courtroom listened to chilling details: the timeline of her smartwatch, the 911 call that never went through, the trail of DNA that told a story Lacken couldn't. The judge found him guilty on all 10 counts. When the verdict was read, silence filled the courtroom. Lacken's family sat together, holding hands. Her mother, with tears in her eyes, whispered, "We just wanted justice." The judge sentenced Ibarra to life in prison without the possibility of parole, the maximum penalty under Georgia law. But the case didn't end there. It became a lightning rod for national debate. Because Ibarra was an undocumented immigrant who had previously been arrested but released under local policies. Many argued that Lacken's death could have been prevented. The case sparked outrage, and soon after, Congress passed the Lacken Riley Act, a new law requiring federal authorities to detain undocumented immigrants charged with theft or violent crimes until their immigration status is resolved. For Lacken's family, the politics meant little. What mattered most was the memory of who she was, a young woman described by friends as kind, determined, and full of faith. Her classmates said she dreamed of becoming a nurse to help others, a future cut short in minutes of senseless violence. At her memorial, classmates, family, and strangers gathered with candles in hand. The university planted a tree in her memory, its roots deep in the same soil where she once ran. Her mother spoke softly to the crowd. Lacken lived every day with joy. She deserved to grow old, to heal, to make the world better. Today, her story stands as both tragedy and warning about safety, about trust, and about how fragile a single morning can be. One moment, she was running toward her dreams. The next, her name became a law, a symbol, and a reminder that behind every headline is a real person, loved, missed, and never forgotten.